Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Sarah.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we're taking a look at Shipyard.
Which is an older game designed by Vladimir Suchi. Sorry for saying the name wrong. I know I'm doing it wrong, but I just cannot remember how it's pronounced. I'm sorry for that. And it is published by CGE.
It plays from 2 to 4 players in about 30 minutes per player.
It does. So this was the game chosen by our fantastic Patreon supporters for June.
Yeah.
And as you can see on the date, this is the middle of July or the end of July. It's July.
Yeah.
Which means that we are really sorry for that, and we are planning on ways to make it up to you Patreon backers. But probably what we're gonna do is that you're gonna get to pick 2 in August, and we're actually gonna do them in August.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like the big thing.
Yes.
So we are planning on making a list for what games to choose for that, and we're gonna get that going. But this was a game that I have been wanting to get for a long time. I haven't told this story before, so I'm not gonna tell it. But we have this game now. I almost bought it, didn't buy it, wanted to get it for many years. That's the short version if you haven't heard it before. And now we got it. We got this super cheap. I was super happy. Opened it up and it was not punched. So it was basically a completely new game, just opened up and never used. So thank you for the sell from the seller for selling it to us. That means a lot. So now we actually got to play it because we enjoy some of Vladimir's other games. We are not like huge fans of Lost Will and that, but we really like Pulsar. Especially is an amazing game, and I heard some great things about this. So we got to play it, and now we get to review it. So you get to see what we think about this game from 2009. It's 11 years old. So in this game, Shipyard, as we already said, you are running a shipyard. Pretty shocking there. It would be strange if this was a game about cats. But in this game, you are building ships the best way possible. There's a lot of different ways to build the ships. You're building ships on your little player board, or big player board. It's pretty big. Flimsy player board, so let's talk about that in the components later. For those of you who cares about that. So you are placing them, and this is really horrible to say. That's better. You're placing your ship parts over here, so when you get a ship part, you can place it in one of the slots. I do not know if I'm matching the slot or not, but you have to do that when you actually play the game and not just holding up to a camera. So you're trying to build ships, so the ships of course have to have an end and a front. I don't remember the actual ship terms for that. An end, the end of the ship, it's not called that. And you also have to have as many middles as you want, at least one. So a ship has to be between 3 and I think 7 is the, or you can make one 9 if you want that. So on your ship you have to fill it with I do not remember the name. You have to fill it with sails, with a captain. You can fill it with military people. You can fill it with economic people. You can fill it with wares. You can fill it. What is it called? The where the steam is coming from. Where you I do not remember what it's called. It's called pipe in Norwegian, but it's not called that. Chimney. Yeah, like it's a chimney. It is a chimney, like it's a chimney part of the ship.
It's where the Santa Claus
This is not English Lessons 101, this is Board Gaming Ramblings. So you're trying to fill up your ship with different kind of things, and when you finish your ship, you have to travel it, like test flight it, I almost said. Run it through a canal. And you have a canal, I do not know if you can see it, probably. We are working on getting overhead camera, so that is something that is coming, which will make it easier to show off things. Showing off pieces. So basically you have to move it through the canal, and when you hit different places, you will score points for as many. Let's say you get a lamp. If I have 4 lamps on my ship, I will then score 4 points when I hit one of those lamp spaces. So that is one of the ways to get points. You also get points for having these different, like the cargo. You get points for having cannons. You get then points for all the crew you have. All the crew need to have a cabin to live in. And there's a lot of different rules for how to work that ship and get it to work. So what you're doing in this game is basically choosing actions on this rondel-ish thing. This doesn't feel like a rondel. Let's come back to that later. So there's a lot of different action spaces. When it's my turn, I will move the last action space I took. I will move it to the front. And I will then place my dude, no, I not place my dude there. I'll place my dude on one of the other actions.
Yeah.
So I will choose an action and do that action. And the actions are really simple. You can get some canal pieces, you can get some crew, you can get some equipment for the boat, you can sell some wares. If you have some wares, you can sell those. You can get upgrades, which makes you break the rules and get better at different actions. And that is basically what you
also
are.
build your boats.
And build boats. That's like a huge part of the game. If you couldn't do that, the game would be really, really bad. So you're basically doing that, and these actions will move around this circle, and when it comes to the end, it will then, that triggers a round, and then depending on the number of players you're playing with, number of rounds you will be playing, and you're going to do that until the end of the game. You're also going to have some end of game goals in different colors, green and blue. And at the end of each round, you have to discard 1 or 2, depending on the number of players you play with. And you're going to end up with having one of these each at the end of the game, 1 green and 1 blue, and you're going to score them at the end of the game on top of the points you got for your boats during the game. And that is basically what you do in Shipyard.
Yes.
What does this game need?
A rule book.
Yeah, great. I was trying to work in this amazing...
I had to think for a second there.
It's a rule book. And it's the same color as the whole other game. It's beige. Like this game is like, if you look at this game, we're going to talk about that soon, but if you look at this game and you not think this is a Euro game, you don't know anything about anything. So yeah, this is the beige rulebook, but the rulebook is pretty straightforward because the game is pretty straightforward. The rules are really simple. All the different actions, which is basically the whole crux of the game, is very simple to understand, and the rules are clearly written and easy to go through. There's a great overview of all the different goals and all the different actions or abilities, what they do. So rulebook get 1 thumb up because I am holding the other thumb with the rulebook. So 1 thumb up for the rulebook. So let's talk then about the artwork and the components. I've been hitting on this, but as always, I'm doing all the speaking up to this point. So let's put it over to Sunniva. What do you think about the artwork and components?
This is a dry beige game. I don't mind at all, but I can see that this isn't a game. If it was published today, it would probably, hopefully, look different.
If it wasn't from Alea, then it would look like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a CGE game coming now, it would be colorful, it would be a lot of things, because they make some colorful, really great colorful games.
Yeah, and beige is not a weird color. We could do some beige, but this is a very beige game. Like the box, the board, like everything, and it just looks dry. But again, I don't mind that. No. Actually, the boat pieces look cool. It looks kind of, what do you call it? Industrial.
Yeah.
And that is the feel of the game.
Yeah.
So it's, and the components, you were showing off the flimsy. I love that. I actually like that this makes it lighter and takes a little less space, and yeah, it just lays flat. So why do cardboard?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the thing I always say. This is supposed to just lay there. Why does it need to be 3 centimeters thick? It doesn't. Stop.
So we're happy.
Yeah.
That.
So yeah, I agree. Like the thing about this is that there's a lot of information on all the pieces out there. So these are laying here, and all of these are filled up with the boats, and it's a lot easier to see everything. Like if this was a lot of colors, it would be harder to see. So it works functionally. But if you were walking past a board or a table, and you would see this on the board, you wouldn't be like, "Wow, that looks amazing. Let's play this game." It looks horrible. Like it does look. It looks so boring. But is it boring? You will soon know.
You haven't shown like the other half of the game
yet.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
There is another board.
Because there is more.
There is this board as well, where you have a lot of rondelles, and you have another rondelle here.
These go over here.
So you have
a lot of them.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 rondelles here, and here is just like spaces for all different resources. This is basically the board where you get the upgrades and when you get everything. I'm gonna move that out of the way, and I can put that. And it fell on the floor. So, yeah. Really not a lot to say about the components. There isn't a lot of components. There are a lot of these tiny things. They need to be this small, or else it would take, the ships would have to be really, really big. So I like that. It's a lot of components, but it's just a lot of the same things, and easy to distinguish, easy to see what is what. And it works. It does what it's supposed to do, and it does it good.
Yeah.
So that is what I had to say about that.
Playtime and player count.
Yes, we have played 2 and 3 players. I don't think we played 4.
No, we haven't.
Because we haven't played a lot of 4-player games because of what is going on.
Yes.
The Corona thing. Probably heard about it. So we have played some 3-player games, and we have played 1 2-player game. And the playtime is around half an hour per player. I would say we used a bit more. Like I think we used like an hour and 20 minutes for 2 players, and maybe an hour and 50 minutes for 3 players or something like
Yes.
that. And I think that's fine. Like I don't believe this is too much game for like an hour. It would be hard to do this in an hour. I think like if you were supposed to do that, then you would never think, you would just do your action. So I think like if you play 10 times, 15, 20 times, then maybe you can get it to that point if you know what you're supposed to do every time it's your turn.
I have a weird sense of time, but every time I've played this game, the rondel moves pretty fast. So
Oh, you mean this action? Yeah.
It's kind of a rondel, kind of not, but you can kind of see when it's supposed to end and kind of count the actions.
Oh yeah.
That you have left, and that always feels really that I have to rush to do what I want to do. So this absolutely does not overstay its welcome for me.
Oh no.
It feels tense to the very minute it ends.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I think but we haven't played 3 or 4. I mean, but I think both 2 and 3 works very well. 2 players is different. You use you kind of like block more spaces basically on this. The only thing you add to the 4-player game is that you add an action which is give you 2 coins, because you can spend coins for different things here to buy pieces, and also when you have 6 coins you can spend them to do an extra action, which is really powerful but expensive. And I think that I think it works really well with 2. I think maybe I liked it more with 3.
It is balanced, but I feel like this is a game with actually a lot of interaction. Not mean interaction, but if I plan on building something on my boat, then I first have to hope that you don't actually go to the build boat action.
Yeah.
And then maybe you want to take the same pieces that I do.
Yes.
And you can see that down here the pieces cost 0 and then 1 coin and then 2 coins.
Yes.
So maybe I don't have the coins to purchase then the pieces that I need.
And
so,
also you use like you have the rondel here.
Yeah.
So let's say I want to sail. And the piece, like it's not a red piece, but it's another piece that says on the sail. So if you do that action and you move it around, it's going to be harder for me to get to the sail, basically.
Yes.
So that also is like the timing here is really important. And I think with 2 players, you have more control. So if you like that, then you can like it with 2 players. I liked it a lot with 2 players and I liked it a lot with 3 players. So basically, if we haven't played 4, I think that would work as well. Like it's a bit harder to plan.
But it seems balanced with the extra piece that they
because
add,
it's easier to get money, so you can do more bonus actions and do the actions that you need when they're blocked. I think that. So I think it works really well at both player accounts we have played. And I would guess it plays good at 4.
Yes.
So let's talk about gameplay, which is the most important thing.
Fun?
Like the game can work, which it does. It works really well technically. So what was your experience of this game?
I expected a rondel game, and I feel that I did not get a rondel game, but it doesn't bother me. This is a rondel game with different rondels that I've played before. So this is kind of an action rondel, so it doesn't feel like a rondel at all, actually.
No, I don't think it feels like that.
But this kind of, all of these rondels has you're not in your, don't have your own marker.
No.
So everything is common. So you have to like see that, oh, now the piece on that rondel is where I want it, then I need to do that action.
Yeah.
But maybe that is taken. So I actually think that these kind of resource way to get resources actually works really good in this game. And it feels kind of fresh, it being a
11-year-old game. Yeah.
So that is my thoughts.
Oh yeah, I think like I agree with you, and I also think like this adds a lot of interaction. Like we just basically just touched on, but it adds a lot of interaction to the game.
Yes.
In a way that is very interesting and very fun.
Yeah, so you could be having some bad luck or some good luck, but you can always like pay money.
Pay your way out of it.
Yeah,
yes.
Actually. So money is very important to have in tough situations in this game. I want to talk a little bit about these final scoring pieces. Because you have 3
of each, yeah.
3 of each, and you're going to have 1 of each at the end. So we've had some discussion if it's best to plan towards a few of them and then decide as you go where you think you're going, what you're doing best at. But you also thought a little about just deciding from the very beginning what you're going to do and stick with that. What do you think?
Yeah, it really depends like what you get. Like when we play the 2-player game, it's easier to do that because it is only one other player that can do something.
That is true.
And the the like chances of you doing the same thing as I'm doing is smaller with 2 players. So when we played 2 players, I got 2. I was basically just getting a lot of different stuff, but the same stuff on all the boats. So I tried to get like one of each of the kind of the lifeboat, the lamp, and the life bio, the lifesaver basically.
Yeah.
And then get one of each of the chimneys and a sail and a propeller basically. So I try to get all of those 6 on each boat because that will give me 11 points for each of those boats added to what I already had. So that was really, really cool. And I went on a strategy where I did basically use no money, almost no money. I think I did like 1 extra action during the whole game.
Yes.
I just needed to do because it was only a few actions I needed to do, and it's like a lot of different ways to go ahead and do and get the things that you need to get.
Yeah, that is really interesting because it seems like valid to do everything in this game. It seems valid to have just really small boats and go just the ship off. What is it called?
Yeah.
A lot of small boats, and also wait and hoard a lot of stuff and then build a big monster badass boat and just ship it off, and to have a lot of crew, less crew, and also getting stuff at these rondels, and also trading rondels. You can't probably see it.
No, you can't.
But I think that the game is kind of open, and every strategy is valid. You just have to do the best that you can.
I think really it depends on what kind of these goals you get, because those are huge points.
Yes.
I have won all the times we played, and I'm like one of the main reasons because I've been doing really good at those end of game scorings. Like the one time I built like 5-6 boats the last time we played, and the time before that I built 2.
Yeah.
So you can do really different kind of scorings and different kind of ways to play the game. So there's a lot of things that works, a lot of great things. But the huge question is for us: is it fun? Did you like the game? Like, you can enjoy parts of it, you can enjoy how it works, but did you like the game? Is this a game you want to keep? Is this a game you want to play more? How do you feel about the game?
I like it. I think I want to keep it. Now, right now we're kind of in a dump game play wise, so I'm not very keen on playing any games right now actually. So but what you're essentially doing each time you play the game is get resources from one of the rondels, put them on your boat. So you kind of have to enjoy that. If you don't enjoy that,
but that's like the same as to say about every single game. Like, if you don't enjoy the game, you don't like the game.
Yes, but I enjoy it. It's a solid game, absolutely.
So the first time I played this game, I was a bit underwhelmed because I did, as you said, it's very open.
Yeah.
So the first time I was like, I have no idea what's going on, no idea what path to take, no idea what to do, and I was like, this is okay. And then we played it again. I really liked it because I knew where I was going. I knew the end point. I knew what was the points. I knew how to get the points. And this is true in many games, but this is one of the games I really felt kind of like about the game the first time because of that. And most times I can just like feel like, okay, I can get some strategy. I understand. If I do that, I can get some points. But here I was just like, I did get points, but it wasn't like I didn't have any strategy. I felt because it's so open, it's hard to know what to do. But the second time I played it, I could see those goals, and I could be like, okay, so I can try working against these two, and then destroy them or throw away the ones that don't work during the game. And I feel like these are a huge part of the game, the goals, because they tell you kind of what strategy you should go to. And the good thing then is that you have 3 of each, so you can see, okay, these 2 match really well, so maybe I should try to focus on them and have this kind of like a backup if something happens that I need to do a backup. And I think that is a very, very big part of the game, and it kind of tells you how you should play the game. And if you don't play towards this, you're not gonna win. I'm pretty sure. Like, if the other players do really well on those, it's hard to get that many points during the game for other things. So kind of the game tells you a bit what kind of strategy you have to go for, but you have a choice. If you only got like 1 of each, it would be a horrible game, because you would be like, this is what I have to do, and I just have to follow that program to do those things. And of course you have to do the timing and be able to snatch out the thing right before you want to get it and all of that. But the fact that you get 3 of them, and you can basically, you get kind of like pushed in a direction with those, but you have to choose which direction you want to go in. And that also will make each game different, even though the game is very samey. Like, there's not a lot of, that's the only different thing in the games. Like, everything else is the same. Basically, like there's some setup here about where the different upgrades will go, but that's not going to change the game hugely. So, and of course, which parts of the boat come up when. But other than that, it's basically going to be the same exact game. So those will change up how you play, and of course, the interaction and how you the timing also makes the game fresh and makes the replayability, I think, here high.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting what you said about the first time we played it, because there's so many steps to actually finish a boat that you kind of lose track on your way there, because you have to, what you do have to need to do is get parts, get a captain, and get a map to move it forwards. That is what you...
That's a bare minimum,
that is what you need. But then you kind of go along and just like, oh, I need that and I need that too. And oh, now that this is open and way over here, then I get a lot of money for taking it because it's an unpopular action. Then you kind of get side railed on the way to going there. So the first time around we played, we were just like, what are we doing again? Oh, I'm trying to build this boat. And there's 700 steps to get it underwater. But it's a really enjoyable game. I think we're into final thoughts now.
So let's do final thoughts. Do you want to begin or should I begin?
You can do it.
Okay, so this was a game I was really looking forward to play, and you know, like every time you like really looking forward to a game, it's hard to meet those expectations. First time, didn't like it too much. No, I like it a lot. I think it's different enough than its other games, both Underwater Cities and Pulsar, which I really enjoy. I think it's very different. I'm not going to get rid of this because it is an auto-print game. If you like his other games, Underwater Cities and Pulsar especially, those are like the most Euro-ish games he has made, then I think you will like this. I think that if you look at this now and you see like, this looks cool, go and see if you can get a copy. It's not impossible to get. I know there are copies on Board Game Geek on the market there, so it's not impossible to get the game. So I think you should go out and get this game. I'm going to give it a 8. I think it's a very, very good game, a solid game, a game that I think is going to stay in the collection forever because it's like a classic older Euro game, a nice design, looks really bland, but it is a really, really good game that I enjoyed playing. That is my final thoughts for Shipyard. And your turn.
Yes, I'm very much agreeing with you there. This felt like, funny enough, though it is from 2009, a fresh breath because it feels really different actually, and it made me want to explore very many different strategies with these bonus things that I was working towards. So yeah, I'm also going to give it an 8. I enjoyed it very much and would be proud to have it in our collection.
Absolutely. So that is the end of the video. If you're still here and you haven't subscribed, please do that now because it makes us happy. And I should have said it in the beginning of the video, but I'm saying it now and mostly nobody's seeing this.
Better late than never.
So yeah, that's the end. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.